Hello, in today's video we will see how to crochet this anchor applique. This pattern is part of my summertime granny square skull, and I will leave all the links and info in the description to this video in case you want to see the other patterns. But for now, let's start making this anchor, and for this I will be using some Aran weight cotton yarn in this blue and a 3.5 millimeter hook. Let's start by making a slip knot, and then we chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we make one picot, so we chain 1, 2, and 3, and then we slip stitch in the back bump of this of the first stitch that we made, of the first chain that we made for the picot. So it's 1, 2, 3, the third chain from the hook. So now we have 3 chains and 1 picot. Now we make 8 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we make one more picot. So we make 1, 2, and 3, and we slip stitch in this first chain. And then we repeat again a chain 8, and 8, and then we make one more picot. So 1, 2, and 3, and slip stitch in the back bump of the third chain from your hook. Then we make 4 more chains. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is our starting point. Now we slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. You can either crochet in the chains or in the back bumps of the chains. It's really up to you. I will go in the back bumps if I manage. Then 1 single crochet in the next chain, always working in the back bump. I just like it better. And then 1 half double crochet in the next. Alright, so once we have this point, we go on and we make, so be careful not to twist the chain as I was doing. We make 1 double crochet working in the picot stitch that we have here. So we really go into that chain where we close the picot stitch, and we make a double crochet. Now at this point, we make a mini picot stitch. So for making the mini picot, we just chain 2 instead of 3. And we go into the back bump of the first chain that we made, and we make a slip stitch. So now make a slip stitch along the post of this double crochet. So you just go along the post of the double crochet and you slip stitch there, and we single crochet 1 in the next chain. So you see now we start working on this initial chain again, and we single crochet 1 in there. So always working in the back bumps. Okay, so we have 1 single crochet. Now we work 1 single crochet decrease. So it means that I go into the next chain, pick up a loop, go into the next chain, and do the same. So I pick up a loop. Now I have 3 loops on my hook. I yarn over and pull the yarn through all 3 loops. So this is 1 single crochet decrease. Then we make 1 half double crochet decrease. So we yarn over for making a half double crochet. We go into the next stitch and pick up a loop. Now without yarning over, I just go into the next stitch and I pick up a loop in there as well. There are many ways in which you can do a half double crochet decrease, so pick your favorite one, it's the same. So at this point I yarn over and pull through all the stitches on my hook. Once we have this, we make one half double crochet in the next stitch. And then we double crochet 2 in the next 2 chains. One and another double crochet in the next chain. So at this point now we chain 13. So now, working in the second chain from your hook, so this one, we make a mini bubble. So we yarn over, we go into that second chain from the hook, we yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So here it's a bit crowded, so it's difficult to see, but just go through the first 2 loops on your hook. Okay, so once we have this first half of a double crochet, we make one more in the same stitch. So we yarn over again, we go into the same stitch, pick up a loop and pull through 2 loops. So here we have 2 double crochets on the hook. So now we yarn over and we close those 2 double crochets together. And this is the mini bubble. So now we have to single crochet 5 working on these chains, and to do that, like, really squeeze the bubble out. And now we'll start working in the back bumps again, and I will work into the back bumps of this chain. So I turn it, go into the back bump, okay, and we make 1 single crochet, make 2, 3, 4, and 5. At this point we chain 12, then 11 and 12. Alright, so this is the situation right now. Let's place it on the table so it's clear. So now what we do is to slip stitch in the third chain of these 12 that we just made. So we just made 1 chain, 2 and 3. So we go into this chain and we make a slip stitch. So basically now we formed a sort of loop, a sort of ring. So now basically we twist the work a bit so that we can work directly into this ring. If you want, you can add a chain 1 just to give yourself a bit of space, and then you start crocheting inside of this loop. And so you can crochet either 12 or how many stitches you need to fill the loop. Okay, let's squeeze the stitches a bit so they fit nicely, and we make the 12 single crochet. And now we are ready to start crocheting again in these 2 chains. These are the 2 remaining chains after we made, you know, the chain 12. And working in those in these 2 chains, we just make single crochet stitches. At this point now we chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and we make, so we have to make a similar arm to this one. So we go into the second chain from the hook, so this one, and we make a mini bubble. So we yarn over and we pull through 2, and then we yarn over and we insert the hook into the same stitch and pull through 2 again. Okay, now we yarn over and we pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Make sure to squeeze the bubble out towards yourself, and now we start working into the remaining chains, and we make 5 single crochets. And now we will single crochet 1, working around the post of this next single crochet. So you see we made 2 single crochets here before we did the chain 7 and then this arm of the anchor. So now we single crochet working around the post of this stitch. So you just go around the leg of the post of the single crochet and you make a single crochet. And now we can start working on these chains. So these are the remaining chains that we did at the beginning. It was a chain 13. And we make, so you see this is the next chain, the next free chain. So we go in there. And we make a single crochet. We have 2. And then 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so we have these 6 single crochets. Now we have to make a little operation, so because ideally we want to go and start crocheting basically the same as we did here, but the reverse to the other side. But if we start immediately crocheting in these stitches, we will end up with a gap in the middle. So to avoid that, we now slip stitch twice around the post of this double crochet. So we just go around the leg and we make a slip stitch, and then we make another slip stitch around the the bottom of the double crochet stitch, and then we slip stitch into the picot stitch. So you see this is the picot stitch that we did, the middle one. We go in there and we make a slip stitch. Now chain 1 and turn, and now we work 3 slip stitches. So we slip stitch again, working in these stitches that we just made, but only working in the front loops. So we just go into this front loop, front meaning once I turned. Front and back are always relative, let's say. So we make 2 and 3. Now we chain 1 and we turn, and we are ready to start crocheting on these chains. So we start with a double crochet 2, one and 2. Okay, so we have 2 double crochets, then we make 1 half double crochet, then we make 1 half double crochet decrease as we did for the other side, Okay, and then we make one single crochet decrease. So I just go in the back bump of the stitch, pick up a loop, do the same in the next one, and then close these stitches together, and then we work one single crochet. Okay, so now you see that we have the picot stitch here. So what we do is, so this means that we have to make the point of the anchor. So to do that, we make a picot stitch here. So we chain 3 and we go into the back bump of the first made chain. Okay, and then we double crochet into the picot stitch from the, right below it. So we make one double crochet. Now, working in the remaining 3 chains, we make 1 half double crochet, one single crochet, and a slip stitch. Alright, and now we can cut the yarn, so you can cut leaving a very long tail so that you can attach the applique to your project. And I just simply slide the tail through my last loop. And here it is. It will need a little bit of blocking before you can attach it to your final project. When you sew it, make sure to pull these stitches a little bit above the double crochet that we did there at the beginning, so that the 2 parts of the anchor are more symmetrical. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this. See you in the next one. Bye bye.